This is TCS, The Big Questions, with me, Adam Spencer, as we ruminate on finding our way forward in a post-COVID-19 world. My guest is the CEO of Meals on Wheels New South Wales, Les MacDonald. How are you, Les?
I wouldn't be dead for quid, Adams.
How's the whole COVID experience been for you? You've seen a lot of things in your life. This has been pretty amazing the last few months, hasn't it?
Pretty frantic, but exciting as well. I mean, the thing, it sounds terrible because, you know, when you go through something as nasty as this experience, you recognise that it's having all sorts of negative effects on people, including their health. But you also, if you're in a sort of position where you can do something and you are doing something, there's a sort of an excitement there as well about getting on and getting things done, you know. So it's a sort of a mixture between those two things of recognising that this is not a pleasant situation and that a lot of people are suffering, but also knowing that you can get things done and getting in there and doing them.
What have you learnt about yourself? What surprised you that you've learned about yourself in the last few weeks?
Well, I don't know that I'd say I'm surprised, but what I guess that as the circumstances have unfolded, you relearn, because we also had prior to this the bushfires, which was also something that dramatically affected Meals on Wheels services. We learned a lot of stuff in that. So I guess in this one you're sort of relearning. You thought that was over and therefore you could go back to normal, but you suddenly realised, no, it's not over. You've got to do all of that sort of stuff again. And as I say, it was about relearning what we learned in that experience, which is that you can react decisively to these situations and you can cope. You can do it. And that's something I think you need to relearn about yourself on a fairly regular basis.
I know that Meals on Wheels was at the front end of some of the challenges. You both serve a lot of older Australians, and a lot of the people who volunteer for your organisation are also in the high-risk groups of something like COVID. But you must have seen some beautiful acts of generosity and human spirit over the last few weeks. Just enlighten us as to something you've seen that's just made you smile.
We've had fantastic support from a whole swag of private sector organisations. I mean, that big delivery that we did of toilet rolls to, you know, like tens of thousands of older people around Australia was just extraordinary. And that was during a period when there was a bit of a hysteria around it in the community about toilet rolls. And what it meant was that the vast bulk of those people who couldn't get out simply couldn't get access to simple things like toilet paper. Now, Woolies came forward and donated like literally hundreds of thousands of toilet rolls. Our biggest challenge was actually getting them distributed all over Australia to the people that needed them. But the response of the people, of our clients and our volunteers, was just fantastic to that. So that's one thing, that's the commercial organisations. Then we had also great support from other not-for-profit organisations like the NRMA. They wanted to provide volunteers, and they did provide volunteers to a number of our services, because what we had to do was to tell all those over 70s that they couldn't come in because it was too risky for their health.
I know that TCS has helped you guys with a chatbot to keep in touch with some of your customers. Do you think we've come to value connection and the simple things like having a chat with someone, things we used to take for granted? Have they been sort of strengthened in some ways through this?
Oh, yes. Look, I think it sounds terrible to say it, but it takes crises like this to show the community how strong it is. And I think this crisis, just like the bushfire one, has done exactly that, because it's brought people together. And that chatbot from TCS is absolutely fantastic, because there's so much happening at the moment that we're struggling to keep up with it all. But this chatbot will take a lot of the burden off us, because it will answer a lot of the questions that people are asking every day. So that's been absolutely fantastic from Tata's point of view. They have been terrific on this. And I really should give them my thanks right here and now, because that's been absolutely fantastic. They have been so supportive in what they've been offering to us. I just can't get over how our community has come together to deal with this issue. I think I feel enriched by it, actually.
What's something you used to take for granted, something you used to do, a place you used to go to, or an event you used to attend that you're really looking forward to doing? I can't wait to go back to the football. I can't wait to go and watch a game of AFL. What's something you can't wait to visit or explore when in the post-COVID world, Les?
Well, it's to get back on my bike and do a decent ride. Because at the moment, the only rides I can do is when I come into the office, and it's only a 10K ride, so it's 20Ks. I mean, I want to get back and do a 50 or 60K ride, but it's been very difficult to do that. They're saying at the moment that you might start to be able to do that again soon. And so I'm really looking forward to that because, I miss that bike.
Okay, so people should keep a look at if they see a 75-year-old man clad in lycra just flying past them on the highway. There's a real chance it's the CEO of Meals on Wheels New South Wales who's been our guest on TCS, The Big Questions today. Les MacDonald, lovely to speak with you.
Good to talk to you, mate.